All right, wow. It's so wonderful to be around people again, isn't it? I'm Andrea Wood. I am the Vice President of Social Impact for Best Buy, and I'll just give you a little bit of background on our signature program, our Best Buy Teen Tech Centers, before I ask our panel to introduce themselves. So Best Buy Teen Tech Centers are state-of-the-art after-school programs for youth, middle school, high school, and even a little bit beyond. And they're really big tech playgrounds, and Aaron's going to tell you a little bit about it because he's there every day. But we really wanted to create opportunities for youth from disinvested communities to help them explore their passions, develop tech skills. So if you walk into a tech center, there's a 3D printer, there's a full-blown music studio with Adobe Pro, there are cameras, there are Wacom tablets for graphic design. If you can think about just all of the technology that would allow youth to explore what they love to do, to develop their skills and their talents. And then I always say it's not the tech that is really the magic of these programs. It is the mentors and the staff like Aaron and Ayeisha here who really bring this program to life. The tech gets them in the door, the mentors and the staff keep them there and help really bring about transformational change. So why don't we start with just a little quick brief introductions and a little bit more about the program. So Aaron, I'm going to start with you. Tell us a little bit about your background, what you do, and also about Phase 4 and the Teen Tech Center.
Oh, you're far too kind. I work as a coordinator for the Best Buy Teen Tech Center at Phase 4 Learning Center in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Like Andrea said, we're an after-school program. We focus on multimedia technology, everything from music production, video production, web design, graphics, full maker space, coding, you name it. At Phase 4, we're an alternative service provider for high schools. So we deal with a marginalized demographic and population that has dropped out or withdrawn from high school and looking for a second chance, and sometimes their last chance at getting a high school diploma and a job. So we're real heavy on mentorship and building relationships, which is kind of the bread and butter of a Best Buy Teen Tech Center. We focus heavily on partnerships, which leads us to opportunities like this with PopSockets.
Great. And before I introduce Ayeisha, I just want to give you a little bit of context on our partnership strategy. So we very intentionally at Best Buy about 6 years ago decided that we didn't want to do this work alone, that we had so many business partners at Best Buy, like PopSockets, like Google, like Samsung and others, who were trying to actually do the same thing, right? Have the same impact on youth in our communities. And so we reached out to our partners and said, hey, come along with us for the ride. Can you co-invest with us in opening up new teen tech centers? Can we create internships and career programs and career training and mentorship with your companies as well as ours so that we can have deeper impact? And so that's really where the partnership with PopSockets came to be. So I'm gonna have Ayeisha introduce herself and tell us a little bit about that partnership.
Hi, Ayeisha Mesinger. I work for PopSockets in product design and development. When the program started about a year ago, they came to us, designers, and asked if we would want to help mentor some kids with graphics to put on grips. If you're not familiar, we make the little circular grips that go on the back of the phone. We do mounts and other product. So the kids were commissioned to create, at the time it was Black History Month, can you create a graphic, a purposeful graphic about why Black History Month means something to you? We walk them through the process of design, thoughts on color, thoughts on whether you use words or not, font size, staying on task, staying on time, and creating graphics that will be then sold through Best Buy via our company. So yeah, it's been a wonderful program, and now it's expanded and we're working with more kids, and other designers and project managers in the department have come on board with the program.
We probably should have brought a pop socket for everyone. I actually think we're sold out though, so my team can tell me later, but they're amazing. Before we move forward, I didn't realize we had our video queued up, so maybe we'll just show the video which tells the story a little bit more.
The sounds. I like Spanish music, maybe reggaeton, or I like hip hop. We love to make music from our cultures, our roots. That's what I really like.
I view it as my goal to make the Tech Center a safe space, a happy place, and an escape from those challenges for the teens. The center is really a place for the teens to take ownership of, so sometimes at home they may not be in control of a lot of things, but at the Tech Center we really like to let them have control.
I'm thinking about making better melodies. If I didn't have the equipment, how would I teach myself? How would I be the person that I am? And so I started coming every single day.
I really just want to make their day every time they come into the centers, because I think it's really important for them to feel like loved and welcomed in the space.
It motivates you every single day, and to go in the studio and just do more projects, just see what other thing I can learn. I'm happy about that.
Great, thanks. And we have 45 of these open across the country. We're going to 100 in the next couple years. So if you're interested and want to know more about potentially having a Teen Tech Center in your community, if you have one already, and getting engaged with volunteering or mentoring, let me know. So now I'm actually going to ask Aaron, tell us a little bit about the PopSockets journey for DJ and Lily and some others. Maybe tell us some stories about how this project came to be and the reaction.
Oh, okay, absolutely. First of all, that was a cool video. I've never seen that before.
Oh,
Right,
excellent.
that was awesome because each of our tech centers have their own culture and climate to them, and you know, these kids are amazing. So we've been doing the PopSockets for 2 years now. This is our second run at it. It started with the Black History Month celebration, and the opportunity came up, and we always want to give our kids access and opportunity and a chance to do something greater. So a call came out for designers, for youth to work on PopSockets. I didn't even know what a PopSocket was at the time. I had to have kids tell me. And our one youth DJ signed up. We actually had two youth, DJ and Lily. One of them got selected DJ, and he went through the process of meeting with mentors at PopSocket, setting up Zoom calls. So mind you, this is like in the height of the pandemic. So he had to really get on his P's and Q's. And since he's a part of our Career Pathways program, he knew what was expected of him. So he created his PopSocket. It went out, and this was like in the early stages, so it has revamped since then. But the confidence that came about from it, seeing his product in the store, seeing his product on Best Buy getting sold and purchased, it really sent ripples through our Teen Tech Center of youth and young artists who had the passion and wanted to design themselves. And then that led to our next iteration with Lily, who designed something for Pride Month. And that in itself was a true measure of like vulnerability, because she had to create a PopSocket. She identified an LGBTQA community, which is something that she hadn't done before. And then we had to have a conversation with Mom about the project and was she aware of this? So, but it broke open doors, and it created avenues for other youth to come out and design and want to take part in that. Off of that alone, I had 3 or 4 other youth come to me in private to say that they wanted to take part of that iteration of it. And then, you know, through conversation, because we always have conversation at the Tech Center, and podcasting, it led to other projects in the music video categories of certain festivals that we applied for, and youth started really being vulnerable, being authentic to themselves, and sharing.
And I should tell you, we did Best Buy for the designs that were chosen and sold on our website. We did pay the designers market rate, so the youth were actually getting a paid position, which is it's really important. And I also think, you know, the magic of Aaron and the Teen Tech Centers is that Aaron and the mentors there are able to help support kind of the development of the soft skills, although I've heard them referred to as power skills. I think they're more like power skills, right? Which is this is a professional opportunity for you, right? To be a professional designer and work with mentors. And so learning how to do that was really important, but also paying them for their work really important. So Ayeisha, tell me about your experience as a mentor and why you're interested, and then maybe a story about, you know, your experience.
I know when I was younger, I did not listen to my parents, but was more likely to listen to certain teachers, certain adults, than the people that I was surrounded by daily at home. And so that sort of, and also the awkwardness of that age also is hard to get past sometimes. So being able to work with teens for me always is about uplifting and encouraging and letting them know it's okay to be vulnerable, letting them know it's okay to have a passion and share your passion and express yourself and quiet the internal, quiet the internal noise, but also the noise of other kids that might not be supportive around you, and just do what comes from your heart. And I think seeing the designs that are coming in from this most current round, you can see the passion, see the talent, but just really see the heart in all of the designs. Working with the teens, I think most of the meetings I teared up when they share why they're doing something, or you're working with the teen that you have to kind of pull a little bit more to get their purpose out of them. It just feels wonderful, and it feels wonderful to be able to help them in that way. They are extremely impressive. Their knowledge of technology, I had to go to school to learn Adobe Suite. They are just doing it on their own. They're intuitive about their color sense, they're intuitive about their design sense, and they have something to say, so to be able to kind of help them funnel all of that into a design that is very small is exciting and empowering for all of us mentors that work with them. We learn so much, and as much as we give, we get as well.
That's awesome. Aaron, you know, I'm curious, what was the most surprising part of the program, either with DJ or Lily? I know you've got more teams going through it now. But what is something that was just, an aha moment for you?
So for me, an aha moment was Lily is an introvert. So I probably only saw her face maybe 1.5 times last year because of the mask. And this year, with her design, she came into the office, closed the door, because it's a big glass door. She comes in, she closed the door, and was talking to me about the things that was going on in her life. And, you know, not to give away her design too much, but she focused it around mental health. So as well as they're having these, these technical mentorships with PopSockets, there's still that room for growth. There's still that room to come in and just have simple, authentic, real conversation about what's going on at home, which helps that design process. Because even as employees with the jobs that you have now, right, there's a human element to you, right? You gotta deal with the human condition. Every day isn't sweet, and that's what I tell them. I'm like, I go through stuff too, right? So being able to have that and share was an aha that, you know what, this program with PopSockets, this might be it. And they're getting paid. And it's, you know, pathways participants, and, you know, you're getting workforce development and all that good stuff in it. And I always tell them, I'm gonna show you what you like to do for fun and create funds from it, so.
That's great. Ayeisha, what about you? What was compelling or surprising for you?
Compelling for me, one, when we finally got the cameras on, seeing the access to technology that they had in the background. We had a couple of introverts as well. So with one in particular, you know, what do you want to do? They were celebrating bright futures. She wanted to focus on Korean culture. Turns out she really had an interest in BTS. Then it was talking about the emotions of what does BTS make you feel. Then that turned into a drawing of an eye with a path in the iris, past and future, which was one of the crying days. And then that turned into another three-dimensional model, which turned into a photograph, because finally we got the cameras on and I was like, you have a whole photo studio behind you. Don't feel limited in a task with what's right in front of you, which is a computer. How can you use your talents to explore other means of expression? So compelling for me that they have access to all of these things, compelling to be able to really reach in and pull out emotion and let them know it's okay, yeah, like you're saying, to sit in that emotion and know that it can pass, or you can express yourself and hopefully let that sadness go, or embrace the happiness, or embrace the sadness so that the happiness is that much bigger when it comes. But yeah, I guess it's just talking to these kids and really getting them to know that it's okay to feel, and also them being from all different places, seeing that they all had BTS in common. They all watched the same shows. They were three very different kids who had way more in common than they expected, and one commented, like, I knew I got the best group. You know? So it's letting them connect with each other as well. I think we obviously have our devices, we have technology, but the ability to connect is kind of, it's hard. So I hope they feel that and see that they aren't alone.
Yep, right.
Yep.
All right, I've got the 1 minute mark. I wanted to say, we were just actually chatting before we came on about, this program was all virtual, so everyone, we're meeting through Zoom and all of that, but apropos to our conversation this morning around the future of work, we do feel like there's an importance to having some of this happen in person, and so we're kind of exploring with our next round of youth, how do we potentially bring the designers, the mentors, and the teens together, at least for a day or so. But I think that is the part that it's the hardest when we talked about how do you engage youth over Zoom, and we know it's challenging for adults, it's really challenging for youth, so we'll be looking at that. And I'm happy to say we are expanding thanks to PopSockets, thanks to folks like Aaron. We had started with 4 teens, we're gonna be at 24 in the next round, so we'll be expanding this partnership, and hopefully you'll see more designs, both in our stores as well as bestbuy.com, so go purchase your PopSockets. So thank you all.